What's going on? This is another Millionaire Savings Plan exclusive. I'm going to be talking about what I would say is a brokeapocalypse. Meaning, what do I mean by a brokeapocalypse? A lot of people, a lot of people are, losing their shirt in the stock market. They losing. I mean, billionaires are losing their mind, losing their money. The FTX scandal. I mean that situation is crazy, man. This guy, man, he was living in a house with, like, I don't know, six other people or nine other people, and they were just having daily orgies basically in this house, all while running a multi-billion dollar FTX or crypto startup company. And the funny thing is that basically no one really likes to talk about white privilege. But if that was me, yours truly, or anybody that looks just like me, uh you would I mean, I would already be probably in custody. I would be in a jail cell waiting to be, basically, I'll be in federal custody basically. Um, you know, it just, this guy pretty much, it's probably gonna be what? How long did it take Elizabeth Holmes to get sentenced? She just got 11 years. She just had a baby, I think, again for the second time. I think it took her about what, 5 to 10 years or something, like 5 years from the time she no, I want to say 7 years from the time that she got caught up in her, you know, bag of lies, to the point where she was basically going back and forth with to federal court to ultimately get 11 years in prison. This guy's gonna get the same. It's gonna be the same circumstance. They're gonna find out it's all this is fresh. This is gonna be basically another uh American greed story. This guy's pretty much, he's gotten caught transferring currency, crypto to like foreign countries, transferring money to other countries. Like I say, this dude ain't even, I mean, he's part of he's part of the people you don't want to talk about, because if you just mention them, you're anti because you mention them. um Basically, uh the you know those guys, the six-star guys, if you mention them, you just the fact of you mentioning them, like the candy man, or the boogeyman, they're gonna come out to get you. Like, he's definitely one of those guys. But yeah, he is literally, he hasn't even been federally charged yet. He is pretty much free as a bird. He is not in federal custody of any sorts. He has not been charged. This dude pretty much lost over $50 billion in investments in his FTX scandal. I mean, basically, it's a lot of stuff like this is going on. Um, it pretty much, a lot of people are just kind of not knowing what's going on, not knowing what to do. They talking about, oh, it's a recession, and they don't really understand really what a recession is. Um, it's not like 2008, but it has some things that um is just kind of different. For one, people have not all a lot of people are losing jobs as far as these big companies, but not everybody is losing their job yet. But this is like, basically, I look at it as kind of a national downsizing. The country is just downsizing. You know, I heard Walmart is closing a lot of their stores or some of their stores. That's crazy because I remember Walmart is basically basically the big box, just killer that just comes in and just takes all of the mom and pops and closes, shuts them down and everything like that. A lot of times people don't even know. Um, Basically, one Walmart can make about over $100 million a year, and that's in like a small neighborhood. That's like a small town. It make over $100 million a year. So yeah, it's basically, like I said, I think it's a downsizing that's going on. A lot of money was kind of flowing in the economy. Fed was pumping up the economy, and now it's like I see it's deflating. It seems like it's kind of the market is just deflating. But yeah, they're supposed to be closing up some stores. Uh, it's saying like hundreds of stores nationwide. Walmart. A lot of tech companies are downsizing. Um, One of the indicators is used cars. If you see the price of used cars going down, that's a sign that basically the market is kind of going down, and it's stabilizing other things because houses is already the housing prices are already dropping. So if you go on a typical real estate listing, and then if you go on Zillow and you see, or you can go to realtor.com and you see a listing that pretty much is a price change, and you can go to the property history and see that it's like, pretty much on its fourth or third price change since they've been putting the house on the market since January. I mean, it's still like it's never, in my opinion, it's never not a time that you should be in real estate. And this is not a okay. This is not some type of thing where I'm saying that you should never you shouldn't invest in. You shouldn't. Everything I'm talking about. I mean, it's all relative, but basically, yeah, this country is going through some type of kind of shift. I mean, of course, you have the it's supposed to be some type of big wealth transfer, or one of the biggest wealth transfers in American history, because basically a lot of the baby boomers are dying out. Um, the greatest generation is kind of um, lingering on, and of course the silent generation are trying to hold on or whatever, but they're pretty much passing away. And some of these you know people are you know rich, to where they're billionaires, millionaires. I mean, you could actually, a lot of times people don't understand. I mean, you could work one job, you could work a job and then buy like a couple properties and be a millionaire. You could actually, in California, if you bought a house, if you just bought one house 20 years ago, on paper you're a millionaire just by the fact that you have a house. If you have a house in like the greater Orange County area, you by proxy are a millionaire just by having a house that you actually own outright. What's going on, Iori? What's going on? I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm still trying to sell some books most definitely, and I'm definitely still utilizing the plan myself. Um Definitely going to talk about that. I got a little time tonight. Um yeah, it's basically never a time that you shouldn't be in real estate. Because like I say, even if you bought one house in let's say in Orange County, California, just buying that one house 20 to 30 years ago, you probably are already a millionaire if you own the house outright. Most likely if you have no mortgage, you're a millionaire. It's that easy. Like, but um I mean, of course, never nothing is never easy, but it's a lot of people that you know they did buy their house 20 or 30 years ago, even hell 10 years ago, and they're sitting pretty good right now as far as the prices. And it's because they bought in. I don't understand. In my opinion, what I would tell my this is what I would tell my kids. After 25, you should try to be trying to think about transferring from rent to ownership. It's kind of like a game, just briefly. You're supposed to go, if you're comfortable living with your parents, you should definitely save your money, right? But if you move out your parents, you go from your parents' house or whatever to a studio apartment. Studio apartment is the cheapest apartment you can get, right? You really don't need a one bedroom apartment, but hey, you can go get a one bedroom apartment if you want it. Some people are fine with a studio apartment. So after you go to a one bedroom apartment, even before that, you should be saving your money and trying to invest it as well to basically make some type of return on your money. And you should be trying to use that for a down payment so you could buy some property. You should never renting is a short-term solution. It's supposed to be like, okay, yeah, I'll rent a couple years or a few years and I save my money, and then I, put that towards some real estate. You know, Being a long-term renter is just not where it's at. It never was where it's at. I don't know who I don't know anybody I don't know anybody that's wealthy that is basically renting from somebody else that they don't even already have real estate. Like if already got real estate and you're just renting a condo in Manhattan, okay, I understand that, but you already got real estate. But for the average person, renting long term is basically you're a modern day peasant. You know, um, actually you're below a peasant because even a peasant has long time ago, peasants had at least a shack. They lived in a farmhouse or something. They had something. I mean, you're below a peasant if you're just renting, from a landlord. That's it's just, like I say, I mean, this is what I would tell my children. Like you should always be transitioning to, buy your first house. I mean, however you can do it, and that's basically why this brokeopolis is kind of just going crazy. It's just a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of robberies. Got a lot of people just losing their mind. I mean, obviously, but yeah, it is a lot of people are trying to do stuff to um kind of make some money because it's crazy out here. It is it is a lot of people it just tired, man, of not having no money. They just doing whatever it takes to get some bread. And a lot of people are already locked up. That's probably why you never heard of them. If you know somebody that you constantly was seeing them, you was constantly hearing from them, and then you ain't heard from them in a minute, chances are that they don't went to jail. that's that's possibly where they are. You know, that's possibly where they are. They done got locked up. And of course, a lot of people doing dumb shit, and then they're gonna have to face the consequences. The little young chick that went to Mexico with her pals, and then they beat her up and killed her. They're gonna have to go to a Mexican prison. I think Mexico already got the green light from the United States to basically extradite them to Mexico. So they gonna whatever they got, whatever cars they got, jewelry, whatever the hell they had, probably not a pot to piss in, but whatever they had going on, all the jobs, uh, children they have, anything that they have, it's going in the toilet because they're gonna have to go to Mexico and most likely serve time in Mexico in a prison, in a Mexican prison. So it's like pretty much they're going to yeah, have to survive that, because they want to do stuff, they want to do stupid shit. And when you do stupid shit, you win stupid prizes, you know, all the time. You just think about, like, a lot of times when people go to jail, man, they lose jail and prison is like it's like a living death. It's like you died, but you're not dead. It's like it's kind of like purgatory. You're still alive, but you're really dead. Just like a dead person. A dead person, he or she can't pay their mortgage, they can't pay their rent, they can't pay their car payments, credit card bills, whatever they got, it's gone. Okay. I mean, anything they have attached to them, it is gone. That's why a lot of times when a lot of one thing I've noticed, tell me if I'm wrong, have you noticed a lot of people, people always talk about Generation X and generation, you know of the millennials and the Gen Z's and all that. One of the things that I noticed, and this would have to be somebody that's a senior law enforcement you know a officer or whatever. I have not in my life, I'm 40 plus years old, I have never seen more people that just, like, basically have a shootout with the cops because basically they don't want to go to jail than I've ever seen in my life. It's like I have never seen so many high speed chases and then ultimately shootouts with police officers, and ultimately results into them getting killed by the police officer. Because basically, obviously, let's just face it, what's the obvious motive? They don't want to go to jail. They basically don't want to go to jail. So I mean, it's like, people don't want to go to jail because they know they not gonna everything they got going on. It's a wrap. The you know s- the- it, and jail is suffering. It's like it is. I mean, you know, everything you got going on is gone. It's dead in the water. Whatever you planned on doing, you know, ain't no more playing Madden, PS5. You know, none of that. You just basically in jail. You know, I don't know. I think they got TV in jail though, or in prison. I think they do have a. You could buy a TV in prison. I don't know. And if you could buy a TV in prison, you probably could get a PlayStation in prison. I don't know. Somebody probably kill you for it though. Why would you even want one? Shoot, I don't know, man. But the thing is that yeah, a lot of people don't want to go to. They don't want to get caught. I mean, I mean, really, they. It almost kind of. It kind of like. I kind of look at it like they just not hard enough. Therefore, they're a bunch of wusses because they can't do that time. That time is too tough. You know, so they just have a shootout with the cops, and then you know they basically want to commit suicide by cop because they can't do that time. And then it's not like all of these guys are facing murder or nothing like that. They facing some shit. They probably get just 10 years in jail. Maybe 5. Who knows? But they don't even want to do 5 years in prison, 2 years in prison. They just be like, they'll just have a shootout with the cops. Be like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, they already said in their mind, I'm gonna just have a shootout. You know, I'm not going back to jail or whatever. But yeah, I have never seen so many people have just basically run from the cops, high speed chases, and shootouts with police officers in my life. And I think it's because a lot of them just don't want to they don't want to do the crime. I mean they don't want to do the time basically. You know, they don't want to do it. They ain't going. They ain't trying to go to prison. They know they're gonna have to go to prison. And they don't want to go. You know, so it's like it's either gonna go one way. I mean, some people will say, because a lot of youngsters are playing Grand Theft Auto. Um, I don't know. It might have a little to do with it, but I don't know. I mean, you would never know because it's like, all right, like the person is already dead. Can't give them no. You can't ask them. Well, why you have a shootout with us? Was it because you was playing Grand Theft Auto? Like, I mean, they already dead. A dead man tells no tales. I don't know, but it's just a lot of I just notice it a lot. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's like people be talking about police officers make this and make that shit. I mean, I wouldn't want to be no police officer right now. A lot of police officers actually are quitting. I've been hearing a lot of police officers quitting. It's a tough job. You whatever you making, man, you got to deal with people. Basically, you're locking people up, and in many instances, you're attempting to lock somebody up that they know they're gonna have to go to prison for what they just did. It's not they know they don't have they know they're not just going to jail. And to be honest, people don't even want to go to jail. They don't want to go to actual county jail, which is less than a year. So they damn sure ain't want to go to prison, right? And you have to arrest this person. They gonna run, they gonna fight you, they gonna try to shoot your ass possibly, and you got to deal with this day in and day out. You know, you got to basically attempt to lock somebody up that most cases they're not going to jail easily. You know, so it's just like, man, I just I don't know if I would really want to be a cop right now. You know, and it's not gonna get even better. I don't think it's gonna digress. I think it's gonna be progressive as far as what the violence that people are going to exude by not trying to avoid going to prison or jail. So it's a situation where I'm not gonna just ramble off what I mean, you kind of know what's going on. It's basically it's a lot of people, man, is busted. A lot of people are busted, man. They you know it's foreclosures are up. Foreclosures, let's see what the foreclosure rates are now. I think last time I checked, they were like, I want to say up over 100%. You always want to watch foreclosure rates, and then you also, if you really want to, you can watch. You can also try to. Okay, so yeah, foreclosures are currently up 57% nationwide. So foreclosures, they're saying foreclosures are up 57%. This article is from November 9th, 2022. Let me share my screen. I guess we could read this because yeah, it's definitely something that you want to watch, because when people get desperate, it's definitely something that people will get desperate about, because you know foreclosures mean you losing your house basically. So this is from adamdata.com. This is basically a real estate kind of I guess they do like reports and stuff like that, as far as foreclosure rates and stuff like that, real estate data. So this reads Irvine, California, November 9th, 2022. Adam is a leading curator of real estate data nationwide for land and property data. Today released its October 2022 US foreclosure market report, which shows there were a total of 32,376 US properties with foreclosure filings. Default notices, scheduled auctions, or bank repossessions up 57% from a year ago, but only up 2% from prior month. Illinois, Delaware, and New Jersey had the highest foreclosure rates. Nationwide, one in every 4,339 housing units had a foreclosure filing in October 2022. States with the highest foreclosure rates were Illinois, one in 1,779 housing units with a foreclosure filing. Delaware, one in 2,178 housing units. New Jersey, one in every 2,305 housing units. South Carolina, one in 711 housing units. In Nevada, one in every 2,755 housing units. Says Even though foreclosure activities continues, its slow, steady increase since the end of the government's moratorium, we're still far below normal levels, said Rick Sharga, Executive Vice President of Market Intelligence at Atom. October foreclosure activity was about 59% of pre-pandemic numbers, and its current pace foreclosures probably won't be back to historically normal levels until sometime around mid 2023. All right, so there we have it. We got foreclosures going up. So there you go, right there. That's your first sign of the brokeapocalypse. Or brokeapocalypse, the brokeapocalypse, whatever, apocalypse, brokeapocalypse. Yeah, man, it's going down basically. You know, um, you have basically a lot of people that are, if you have people that are going through foreclosure, basically evictions are the cousin or the little brother of foreclosures. So whenever there's foreclosures, there are eviction rates that are relative to that. So I'm looking at that right now, see if I see anything. So it's saying, let's see. Well, they're saying eviction rates are skyrocketing in some county called Travis County, which is this is in Texas. So I could read this. This is relative because I hear a lot of people talking about Texas, and I know uh I think Michelle, Erica Williams. She talks a lot about Texas. She was talking a lot about Texas, and a lot of people definitely have moved to Texas. And also Austin, Texas is a big um IT hub. So it's pretty big and up and coming. So we'll read this article real quick. This is from basically November 18th, 2022. We'll read this. So this is from the Austin Monitor, and this is dated Friday, November 18th, 2022. So this was last Friday. Says eviction rates are skyrocketing in Travis County, says HHS. Eviction rates have shot up more than 250% of the average in the Austin area, according to Travis County Health and Human Services. We have been absolutely inundated with crisis applications. Kirsten Siegfried, HHS Chief Deputy, told the Travis County Commissioner's Court. Siegfried said it took HHS 6 months to get through applications received in just the first 2 weeks alone. We have been barely able to attend routine applications, so much so that it truly pains me to say this out loud. We only finished processing all of those applications received in the first 2 weeks of March last month. Many of the evictions are driven by rising costs, relatively stagnant incomes, and the lifting of the eviction moratorium in March. But November has seen an anomalous increase even since the moratorium lifted. Rents for one bedroom apartments in Austin has risen 35% since 2019 compared to a mere 8% increase in wages. The number of county households considered housing cost burdened, or households which spend more than half of their income on rent and utilizes, has increased 40% since 2019. In Travis County, 72,000 households are categorized this way. Households in this category cannot afford all that they need, including transportation, healthcare, childcare, and even food. Siegfried explained, a household that is severely housing cost burden is not stable. Paying that percentage of your income on rent and utilities cannot be sustained. Siegfried advocated a different way for HHS to handle rental assistant applications, combining rental assistance with case management. Our ask today is that the court approve a way of doing things to make active participation in the case management or social work services a condition of being eligible to receive rent or mortgage assistance. Siegfried said, adding clearly our traditional way of providing rent assistance is untenable. So yeah, basically, yeah, it's going down, you know. That's all you need to know. It's going down, you know. And that's all I'm trying to tell you. That's what this live stream about this issue, which like I would say is a brokeopolis. So it's a bunch of broke people on the apocalyptic form, basically, trying to survive. And this is nothing that I've not warned people before. You know, we all have to suffer our decisions in life. I'm no different. I've had my ups and downs, and I've made decisions that were tough decisions. It was decisions that I wasn't necessarily, used to, didn't think that I would have to make those decisions, but I had to make those decisions, and those decisions was based off of me knowing that I am not good at paying rent. I'm terrible at paying rent. This is something that it's just kind of like you learn how you are as a person. Sometimes it takes you to, in your 20s and stuff, in your 30s, to learn how you are. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago was that I don't like paying rent. I hate paying rent. I don't like it. It sucks. Um, I've never had a mortgage, but I'd have to say I probably wouldn't like paying a mortgage either. I don't think that I would like doing it, but I probably wouldn't mind it because you have some type of options if you have a mortgage, right? So the one of the options you have versus renting is that you have some type of pathway to ownership of the property. Although you may not own the property outright, one of the things that you can do is sell the property. You can't you can't just be like, all right, you rented a house or apartment. You can't just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go, you know, find some way out and then just make some money off of this apartment, real quick. Can't do that. you have to basically find another apartment or rental unit, right? Well, when you got a house, you can literally you can short sell the property, or you can basically put it on the market as fast as you can and sell it, and then you could possibly make a profit out of the transaction. You might have to lose some money, or might have to come out of pocket depending on the situation. But you ultimately, yeah, you gonna have to find another property, or find another maybe you have to go live into an apartment, or live with parents or family for a minute, but you don't necessarily have a ding on your credit report that you have a foreclosure, and ultimately you have to file bankruptcy or anything. You have an out. You can sell your property. You can't do that in a rental. You don't have any other outs when it comes to a rental. These people are filing for emergency assistance for rent. 9 times out of 10, they won't get it in time to save them. Those, just like they said at this, in Austin, Texas, these people are inundated with assistance applications. Not all of them will get that assistance, and by the time they do, it's probably going to be like a day late and a dollar short. You know, so ultimately, they whatever rentals they had, they'll still be behind, and ultimately have to vacate the premises, before they can long enough well before they can get any type of actual assistance, right? So the thing is that you know one of the things that you got to do what you got to do. I understand that notion. I did a video. I'm a very practical, pragmatic person, and like I said, I did a video, and one of the videos back when I was staying in a hotel. The video was it is what it is. Whatever you got to do right now, it is what it is. I understand it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, and I get that, and that's very, very pragmatic, and very just real straight to the point. You got to do what you got to do. Now, um, given that fact, we all have to do that, right? In many regards, but just having the notion to just try to do better in the future. Try to, whenever you get some type of angle to where your life gets better, you meditate on things and you remember, okay, well, I might not want to rent anymore in some high price neighborhood. I might need to go, stay somewhere where I can afford, or even, try to, if I can buy some property, try to buy property in a place where I can afford property. Because see, here's the thing. A lot of times what I find myself, what I learned from my friends and my family about how they got caught up in the trick bag was, basically kind of just overextending themselves into liabilities, which most people, that's what they do. They overextend themselves into liabilities, because um y- like I said, case example. So you go, you get a property, and it's the property value, the property cost is going to be over 50% of your income. So, for example, you might make gross, let's say $5,000 a month, and the mortgage for the property that you end up getting is $1,500 a month, plus your utility costs. Let's just say peak utility costs in wintertime, including all other bills and financial responsibilities for that household, is like let's just say another $500. So you're at $2,000. You know, you're pretty much all something that has to happen is like, you have to have at least 5,000, I mean, $500, $1,000 for emergency. Let's just say your water heater went out. Well, your water heater now, it costs brand new about $500 to $600. And to put it in, it might be well over eight, $900, almost 1,000 to put it in. Well, I mean, you just blew through most of your budget for like over half of your actual income for that month just off of that alone. That's called house poor. And when you get in a situation where you're house poor, ultimately you're living in a situation where you're possibly most likely check to check. Meaning you're going to have to save like one or two checks, or at least one check is going to be totally gone towards your mortgage, right? And that's that's not good. I mean, because a lot of times that's how people have to be check to check, because they literally they don't make enough to compare to what their mortgage was. I had a friend, I had a friend of mine. He was young, and he got into IT later, but before he got into IT, he was working like at a mail room in downtown, and he was living in his grandfather's house. And I remember he used to live check to check. He used to literally, he would depend on his bank account basically paying a overdraft so he could pay his mortgage the next, paycheck. He would, pay the overdraft fees and the charges and everything, and he would just basically rinse and repeat that every month. He did that for quite a long time, for some years, but then he basically got laid off. Yeah, he got let go, and then he was on unemployment. Well, unemployment doesn't cover 100% of your normal income. It covers, if you're lucky, it covers a third of it. And he wasn't able to do that anymore. He wasn't able to pay his mortgage, so he went as long as he could, and he ended up having to basically sell the property. He got to actually not, he did not even sell the property. He had to give it back to the bank. He ended up going into foreclosure. The bank took it back. And yeah. Um, basically, I mean, well, fortunately, my uncle was able to get it, but you know, um, but it's like it was a situation that, yeah, he just, he couldn't pay for that mortgage because he was just too close to paying it was over 50% of his income. If you're paying over 50% of your income towards housing costs, you're house poor. Even you can even say you're rent poor if you're paying, if it's the same applies. So your rent is the same thing, like, $1,500, and you only make, less than $5,000 a month. Yeah, you're paying over 50% towards housing costs, even, and you're just renting. This is why it's important to kind of look at a property to buy versus rent, because I know prices of properties are up, right? Okay, I know they're up, but this is something that I'll never forget, right? In Milwaukee, for example, this was a meme that I posted, and it was true. It wasn't necessarily a meme, it was true. So in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, let's say pre-pandemic, let's say 2018, you can get a house that basically like you know, less than $100,000. Okay, your mortgage would be about $500, maybe 200, $300 a month, right? That same house, somebody else would be renting for $700 a month because they don't, they didn't they didn't buy the property. They didn't get a mortgage on the property. They just rented, you know. So it's like the difference of paying like 150 to $300 to $700 because you're just renting. And like I say, I mean, I know I get the understanding that I get the concept of you got an apartment, you can up and just leave the apartment whenever you want. It's harder to leave a house, right? Well, it is difficult, but you can still do it. You could just put the house, you contact a realtor. It takes about less than a week. The realtor comes to your house, inspects everything, puts a contract together to put your house on the market. Your house could be on the market within a week or less. And basically, as soon as that happens, the realtor can start showing the property, and you can ultimately sell the property within a few months and avoid a foreclosure within. It takes about 4 to 5 to 6 months for a full foreclosure process to ensue. Well, you just beat a foreclosure by putting your house up for market, or a situation where you can just get out of the property if you just up and move in somewhere or whatever. I mean, this happens, and it's just unfortunate that another thing is that when you're renting, you're making somebody else rich. Ultimately, you're making somebody else rich. You know, I'm not talking about somebody that's, got properties and is already a multimillionaire or whatever, and they just, got an apartment because they want to have live on the east side in a loft or a penthouse or whatever. No, I'm talking about the average everyday, individual, right? Male, men or woman. You're ultimately making somebody else rich when you're renting, you know. Unless you're living with your parents, which is despised of for a lot of communities. Basically, to live with your parents is like just so right. Like, people make fun of men that live with their parents primarily. They don't make fun of women that live with their parents, but they make fun of young bachelors that live with their mom or their dad or whatever, or live with their mom, whatever. And ultimately, like I have no problems with that. And as long as you're saving your money, of course, helping your mom out, you know, changing the toilet when the toilet needs to be changed, changing the faucet, taking the garbage out, cutting the grass, you know, um, taking care of, being a house handyman and shit like that, man. I don't got no problem with that because you saving your money. And if your mom gave a hell about you, I don't know if you gonna ultimately get the house anyway if she passed away. You know, so it's not like, what I'm saying, you should be estranged from your mother as soon as you turn 18, because you gotta go on your own. I know I understand some people gotta get away from their parents. Their parents are crazy, lunatics, and they gotta get away from them. Trust me, I understand. So I I'll pretty much, I understand everybody can't live with their parents. If your parents ain't cool, how can the hell you live with your parents? It just that don't work. But yeah, other than that, long term renting, it's never the way. It's the way of the peasant. If you want to be a peasant and rent for 20, 30 years, and then when you ultimately you got kids, you die, they can't they don't have anything that they can call their own. Even if they sold your house, okay, who cares? They get the money, they go on their way. Or they might, keep the house. If you trained them how to, take care of a house, and how to upkeep it, how to pay the taxes and everything like that. Put some type of a clause where you can't sell the property or whatever. Put it in an estate to where you can't sell the house, and you have an executor of the state. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know of certain things. You can have clauses. It's called death clauses. You can have certain things that you can set up to where after you pass away, your children can't sell your property or sell the business after a certain period of time and shit like that. It's certain things you could do. That's why it's important to have a good lawyer, and a good estate attorney, real estate attorney. This is something that you need if you want to be if you want to be wealthy, you want to be a multimillionaire. You're gonna need certain things. One of the things you're gonna need is a good attorney. Definitely somebody that's a good accountant as well. That's not gonna steal from you. I would even say, learn how to be your own accountant, because it's so many instances where I've heard of accountants stealing from their clients that it's almost like, man, I say manage your own damn money. Because certainly I went to school for business. I definitely took an accounting class. Um, in business, even small business, you have to be your own accountant anyway, because you ain't got no goddamn money to hire no accountant. So, you become already accustomed to, being, filing your taxes, taking care of your books, and all of that type of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, if you can hire a good an accountant that ain't gonna stick you up. Of course, you got to do your due diligence, you know. And definitely, I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing, but shoot, man, I don't know. I'm kind of a gangster, so when I'm thinking of my accountants stealing money from me, I'm thinking of horse heads, and I'm thinking of kneecaps and stuff like that, and metal bats and shit. So I don't know. I mean, as long as I would just say, as long as you got a certain air about yourself to where your accountant ain't gonna try to stick you up. You probably be all good in that regard. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that you do need a team to basically win the game. That's basically what I'm saying. And the thing is that I say all of that to say that yeah, if you got an apartment, all of that shit all that shit don't mean shit. It's not possible. You don't have nothing. You can't, when you die, if you die tomorrow, you got your apartment. Your kids got to pay the rent next month. You know what happened to my sister? This is God's honest truth. This is what happened. So my sister, she had a house she was renting, right? And I told her for years. You think I'm preaching to the choir right now. I told for years, you can get a property, you just, you probably save money on renting. I was just putting little chips in her ear. She agreed with me, but you know, she she had like a Section 8 voucher, and she was kind of used to it and whatnot. Um, when she passed away, within 2 months, it was 2 months, 60 days, my sister's children had to vacate the premises within 2 months, because one, they didn't want to all chip in to pay what the rent was, and the landlord didn't care about anything. Ultimately didn't care about what happened to my sister and her passing. I mean, she was trying to find some other tenant as soon as possible to pay that damn mortgage that I think she was in trouble with, and the taxes, of course. And that was it. 2 months. It was everybody was out of that house. And the thing is that I could have paid for it, but I wasn't gonna do it because it's like that ain't my life. That ain't what I want to do. I don't want to pay $1,800 to just live in some nice house that I can't afford. I mean, that just wasn't what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I ultimately, I could have done it, without any help, because I definitely had the money, but I wasn't gonna do that. So um, yeah, that happens. It happens every day. Somebody dies. They can't. What would have happened if my sister had the same situations? My sister had a mortgage, or ultimately, of course, own the house. But let's just not go there because that's a dream circumstance. Now I own my house, but let's just say she had a mortgage. Well, I will say my sister's children, my nieces, they had money. They could have paid that mortgage for quite a while before. They probably could have took over that property and just continued to pay the mortgage, because it wasn't a situation where they couldn't pay the rent themselves. You know, it was a situation where, like, the landlord just didn't want them there because for whatever reason she didn't like the idea of them being there or whatever, or something like that. So it was just been them just paying the mortgage company for the property, or they probably could have negotiated to where the mortgage could have went to them directly into their name, and basically paid for the property. They'd just been paying the mortgage. I mean, keeping up the property and all that shit. I don't, I don't know about all that, but I think that they definitely could have paid that mortgage, or got some type of situation where they got it refinanced to them or whatever. But all of that is not possible when you have a rental. So it's like, this is why I just don't like. I definitely strongly believe, like I said, I'll tell my children, rentals are for temporary purposes. They're not a long-term solution, and it's definitely not a wealth solution. Anybody that ever told you that a rental, uh, having living in a rental property is a wealth transfer solution, show me them so I can deliver them a smack. Because I've never heard it. Most people, that they don't talk, they don't talk like that. They don't say, stupid shit like that, because it's not true. It's not, you can't, it's no wealth transfer when it comes to you having a rental property. Case closed. It's not even any more discussion that needs to be had on it. I mean, that goes for anything worth its weight is in gold, just right there alone. It's not a wealth transfer solution, so you shouldn't be looking at it for like a long term solution. So I mean, I'm just gonna just kind of give some examples of what you can do in this circumstance to just kind of give yourself a leg up. And of course, definitely, one of the reasons why I did not have any problem transitioning is definitely because of my book, The Millionaire Savings Plan. My strategy, you know, um, definitely helped me in that regard as far as transitioning from that situation I ultimately already had property that I put money down on. So I already had that going on, but definitely check out my book, The Millionaire Savings Plan, on Amazon, and my website, brokegeniuses.com. It's in the description of all of my videos. Because the thing is the reason why I say that is because, not just because I'm trying to sell you a book, it's because it's going to teach you how to save money to where you also can try to double your money and invest your money so you can have more money. So in a situation where you want to put a down payment on a house, you want to, you know, ultimately buy a house cash, you can do that versus, not having any money, because you have problems. If you're a good saver, the book is going to help you save even more money and invest even more money. If you're not good at saving like I was, it's going to help you become a better saver. If I had to say what the book does in a nutshell, that's what it kind of helps you with. It helps you become a better saver, whether you're a spender or a saver, because it basically kind of encompasses a lot of things. Is whereas it makes it like a game to where it's a challenge. Like, okay, wherever you are at, if you got $1,000 and you got, all the prerequisites out the way, you got food, you got your bills straight, you know, everything is straight, you got $1,000, right? Well, take that $1,000 and you go buy a pallet. You go buy, a return. Walmart does a lot of returns. Best Buy, Amazon, a lot of these big box stores, they return a lot of stuff. Even Home Depot, Lowe's, they return a lot of goods. They're open box goods. Some of them are broken or whatever. Um, and you basically, if you have like a garage, a basement, you store this stuff, you sell it on eBay. Okay. You can sell stuff on Amazon too, but eBay is very good at selling used stuff because I do it all the time. Um, and you it might cost you, let's just say it might cost you $200 or $300 to buy this pallet in with shipping and everything, right? That pallet might make you five, six, $700, and you only spent $300. Now you have close to $2,000, and you could just rinse and repeat. You could do something else. You could buy, get in a luxury watches, buy a luxury watch and try to flip it. It's a lot of things you could do to basically try to flip it to just, take that 1,000 and make it 2,000, ultimately then 4,000 and just get higher up the steps. So it's kind of it's a lot of things. It kind of turns you into an investor too, because a lot of people are not good at investing, and it kind of challenges you to try to get into investment. Um, I was a natural investor before I wrote the book, so it's nothing for me. I'll meet somebody right now at the gas station and sell them something on Facebook Marketplace. I don't care. I'm a hustler, but if you I don't know, you set up a lemonade stand, get a hot dog cart. It's a lot of ways. It's like a million ways to become a millionaire. It's like so many ways you can become make money. I mean, women a lot of times, um I be this might sound misogynistic, but I do follow and listen to women as far as their advice, as far as business and stuff like that. But to a certain extent, I know women have, what men don't have. As far as, and it's not just vagina. you know, um Women have some certain femininely wiles that they can kind of tap into, and a lot of jobs and stuff are accepting of women, right? Like, basically what I'm saying is that it's very easy for a woman to make 100,000, $1 million than a man. The reason why is because, in my opinion, because it's so many ways women can make money and very easily, right? Outside of sex, if you include sex, I mean, yeah, OnlyFans, hello, but certain jobs, women are known in are most people's ideas and social norms. women are accepted to do. Like for example, if I wanted to be a nanny, or if some other man wanted to be a nanny, and he, had a, they wanted to be a nanny, right? They can't they can't they can do it, but it'll be kind of difficult because most people's social norms of what is acceptable for to be a nanny is a woman, nannies make pretty good money, right? Babysitter, it's certain things, nurses and stuff like that, right? So a lot of times women can make so much. Even women can sell eggs. Women have eggs, right? They can sell. You know how much eggs are worth? Like you can sell. Women can sell their own eggs for like I think it's like $10,000 or something like that. At least a couple grand, or 5 grand or some shit like that. And then not to mention just birth children, right? uh to be a surrogate, um I think it's like 100 grand to be a surrogate. Like you can make $100,000 to birth someone else's child. I mean, of course, there's a lot of emotional ties to that, soul ties, and probably states of despair and depression. I mean, you just birthed a baby that came out of you. I mean, obviously, I couldn't imagine. You birth a baby and then you got to give it up. I mean, you probably feel like some type of house cat, or a damn dog or something that just your baby gone. You probably want the baby, don't want to get a baby up after it's born because you got connection to it. I'm sure that's kind of like the emotional or psychological trauma of actually doing that. It's not easy. I would say, but it could be done if you're a woman. Like a man cannot do that. The most men could probably make off of sperm donation is what, a couple $100. So I mean, women, just it's so many ways women can make money. It's like it's almost like it's embarrassing for women to actually be broke, because it is a lot of women that are ultimately broke. But I mean, it's so many ways that women can not be broke versus a man that even society supports women, of course, and women with children, that it's like, yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like I be looking at women that be broke, like, god damn, you really just trying to, you're just defying society, huh? You just a rebel, you just a rebel without a cause, huh? But yeah, it is a lot of women that are financially struggling, of course, also dealing with evictions and foreclosures, I'm sure. But yeah, one of the things that I would have to say as far as an advice, I'll just give three 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 of my advices for this brokeopolis. The third thing would be, you know basically, um I would just say, patience. Patience is definitely something that you need to have in this time. You need to learn how to be patient. The reason why I say that is because a lot of times I lost a lot of money not being patient. You know, I lost money in the stock market not being patient. I lost opportunities, for all kinds of things, just not being patient, just being rushing, just, listening, watching people going crazy and following the crowd. And then, next thing you know, I lose my entire shirt because I'm not patient. So you just gotta steady the storm and be patient, because see, what's gonna happen when you have money is you're gonna be able to gobble up everything that comes your way. Um, One of the things that I'm noticing, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm looking at cars and shit. It's a lot. The cars are getting cheaper and cheaper, man, because people people got to sell their cars, man, and the price is right now. One of the things I have to say is that when I bought my Mercedes, and it lasted for about a good 2 years. I paid $700 for that car, man. And the only way I was able to pay $700 is that I had the money to buy it. Like, if I didn't have the money to buy it, it'd just be like, oh, all of these opportunities, you can't capitalize on it because you ain't got no money. Well, one of the things, and ultimately, is that simply you could do is that if you got the money and it's gonna be a lot of deals out here, right? You could just buy them and just resell, whatever you purchase. You fix it up or shine it up and then just resell it. If you got the patience to just wait for stuff to get, the price to go low, whatever, you could just start buying this stuff up. You know, one of the things, if you not noticed, as far as the article I read about the eviction, foreclosures, is that those houses, they go to auction. So they go to your local courthouses, they have information on the auctions, and then they have national auctions on auction.com. Okay. I purchased about two properties that had something to do with auction.com. They were either on auction.com at one time or whatever, or the people that I bought the house from, they bought the house from auction.com. So auction.com is certified. Like, you can buy properties nationwide on auction.com. And another national kind of private market company is called Hubzu. HUB. I'll put it in here because you might have heard about it. If you in real estate, you've heard of it. You've definitely heard of. So it's called Hubzu. Hubzu is hubzu.com. And basically it's like auction.com, but it's a little different, but it's the same concept. So yeah, you can get a lot of properties, a lot of stuff on sale if you got the patience, even stocks, even companies, you know, they you know, crypto, crypto is not going nowhere, man. I don't give a fuck what these old fuckers are talking about. Yeah, they right. Yeah, crypto is, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen and this, that, and the third. But crypto is so many altcoins and different crypto tokens and stuff like that. A lot of crypto that's is backed using Ethereum as a kind of like a blockchain or whatever. So it's a lot of tokens out here that it'll go from like 0 to 50 cent overnight, like, or within a week, and I don't know about them, and you a lot of people don't know about them. And Dogecoin, I'll just show briefly what Dogecoin just did just a week ago. I mean, you could have made a mint within a week, right? If you just would have gotten back in the old Dogecoin. I mean, so here's the thing, like, you might, while other people are talking about going left, and then things start going right, you missed out because you was going where everybody else was talking about going, but it was the market was going right. So this is the 5 day. Let me go to 1 month on Dogecoin. So okay, it was October 21st. It was at 0.59, right? So within what, couple weeks, no, a week, it went to 14 cent. It peaked out at 14 cent on November 1st. So you could have put 100 grand in that motherfucker and made 200 just within a week and pulled it out. when it once it peaked and then it start bottoming, going out, going down. So don't believe the hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you still want to watch cryptos, and if you still want to look at it as an opportunity. I mean, because it's been an opportunity for a lot of people already. So you just it comes with patience. Okay. Second thing is you know um this is what I would suggest if you can. I mean, you gonna need some help, man. I just can't say it enough. Like, you gonna need some partner up, man. I mean, if you gotta get a roommate, or what I'm saying, you you gotta get you a boo thing or whatever, man. Partner up, man. Don't do it by yourself. If you wanna do it by yourself, man, so be it. But I would say partner up, man, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you go in middle class America, a lot of these like C grade neighborhoods and B grade. I haven't got to B grade neighborhoods yet, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you what a B grade neighborhood is, right? Mostly, okay. B grade neighborhoods are primarily they're primarily the people are married, man. They are fucking married, dude. You think that a B grade neighborhood, which is a upper middle class neighborhood, that's what a B grade neighborhood by definition is a upper middle class neighborhood. You think they could pay all of that shit, all them fucking mortgages and high taxes by being a single motherfucker? You really think that? Like, a lot of people probably, you grew up in the projects, you grew up in the hood, and it's all good. I definitely lived in the hood too, but when I moved out that motherfucker, one things I noticed and I observed when I got to the suburbs, and then I got, to the other suburbs or whatever, a lot of people were fucking married. That's one of the things I noticed, right? And then, one of the things I noticed when my parents would drive in these rich neighborhoods and shit. One of the things my mom used to do, and ultimately I like doing too, going to these rich neighborhoods and then looking at the houses and shit. I'm gonna show you a picture. I took a basically I was working near Home Alone, where they basically they shot the movie Home Alone. Now, this is a neighborhood, okay? This is I mean, where that house for Home Alone was shot, of course. That's a A grade neighborhood, okay? So I ain't never been in this motherfucking neighborhood, man. I never been. I mean, I've been in the neighborhood, but I've never, went by the house. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna just go by this motherfucking house, man. And I'm just gonna, just go by the house and see what it looked like. And basically that's what I did. So let me show you something that I took. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me just share this real quick. Share this. So yeah, that's the Home Alone house right there. Um, wait, hold on. I just hold on. Where did I put that picture at? So yeah, that's the Home Alone house. Right there. Let me see if it's showing. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, so that's the Home Alone house. That house is worth about today's market about $2 million. I mean, so like that's a grade neighborhood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like a couple months ago, back when I had my struggle dreads. But the thing is that one thing about these B grade, even C grade neighborhoods, one thing you do notice is that you have, I ain't saying they power couples, but you have a parental structure of a husband and a wife paying them fucking bills, man, because them damn bills, you know, I don't care if, okay, the husband paid the mortgage and even the fucking utilities. But the wife, she picks the kids up. She pays for all of the kids stuff. She pay for all of the groceries. If you short and she need like you she got $1,000 in her account she can give you because the motherfucking water heater went out, whatever. She got her money, and then she basically pays for all of the stuff, like she buys all of the groceries and household stuff that's needed, whatever furniture she want, art, whatever decorations. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is going down, son. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that is. This single mama shit, that's hood ghetto shit. That's C grade, D grade, F grade hood neighborhood behavior. Once you get into the C's and the B's in the A grade neighborhoods, son, they are coupled up, man, and they paying them because the mortgages is a motherfucker. Let me show you something, okay? Let me show you something. Let me give you a preview. Let me give you a preview of this in the Chicagoland area of a B grade neighborhood. Okay, I'm just gonna go to B grade neighborhood. So yeah. So basically, let's just go to Olympia Fields. Olympia Fields is definitely a B grade neighborhood. Not that many listings on the market. Let's just go let's just go with just this here. This property here. All right. Now let's talk numbers. All right. So let me stop that. Let me show you what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. Cause I'm not gonna send you off. I'm not gonna, you know, tell you a bag of lies. Okay. I'm not gonna look at what the property looks like inside. I'm gonna go straight to the numbers. This is $304,000. I know you motherfuckers in New York and California that in the East Coast and everywhere real estate is high. This is not shit. But in the Midwest, this is expensive. In the Midwest, people know these prices are up and this is expensive. Okay. So let's not go to even the property details. Let's get right down to the monthly payment. Okay. This is they're expecting 60% down. Okay. Well, that's where alone, right here, where you might need a little bit of help. Okay, you might need a little bit of help to come up with $60,000. She might have to, meaning your wife, she might have to go to her 401k, her parents, retirement, whatever, help you put down fucking 20%, to make this situation where you can pay that to where it's a $2,000 mortgage more monthly payment. The property taxes are, if there's $650 let's go to the property tax. Okay, let's go to um property history or whatever. Okay, so the taxes are $6,000 a year. $6,699 a year. Okay, so roughly, if you do accounting, you round to the thousands, the nearest thousand. That's $7,000 a month for taxes. Okay, um, that alone is like, $600 a month just for taxes, and that's not including the principal and interest off the mortgage. It would help, it would behoove you to have a partner, okay, to help you pay these bills. And it's not like, okay, here's the thing. I'm 100% motherfucker. I'm all for paying all the mortgage, okay, but I might need help with that motherfucking down payment, okay? And once I pay the mortgage, yeah, if it would help, I would need you, yeah, definitely to be cooking and cleaning the house, and make sure the kids got what they need and all of that, you know. And I knock out the mortgage and the fucking, what I'm saying, utilities and shit like that. But I might need your ass to put that motherfucking down payment down. Okay, that's all I'm saying, man. You know, this ain't foreign to people that have been raised in, B and A grade neighborhoods. They already know that. They're not gonna say anything in my comment section because they already know what's up. The last thing is that you know, um, I would just say don't panic. Don't panic. You know, j- do what works. Do what works that works in the past. This is not something that basically you should not do. Like, you shouldn't just, be panicking and then just start doing some dumb shit, because that's a lot of times that's how things happen, where you get messed up in the game. Next thing you know, you doing something and you get messed up. Don't panic. Just, you see the world going in apocalypse and everything. Just don't go crazy and lose your shirt. Just do what works. Do the same thing that works. um, a lot of times people that I see and I observe, that's what they do. They just do the same stuff. Like, they just continuously go to work and make sure they got their stuff together. And they just, a lot of times people have already kind of got used to living like this. They just kind of keep on going. They don't panic. They just keep on walking. People in New York is already used to that. People in Chicago, New York, they already used to just kind of, man, somebody could just be dead in the street. They just walk over 'em, just keep on going. Like, man, it just, I don't know. That ain't what I'm talking about, but it's like, basically, whatever you're doing, you should you just keep doing it, man. Just, keep on um persevering. Don't panic and lose your shirt and lose your investment. Just keep going. That's all I'll have to say as far as what I would do. But I've said quite a bit. If I'll put my link in the chat if you wanna talk about something related to the conversation. Got a little time here. If you out there want to talk about the Brokeapocalypse, Brokeapocalypse is punished. People are losing their shirt. People definitely are definitely going, from classy to ashy. You know, the FTX is basically They saying that FTX is the Lehman Brothers of crypto. So yeah, I mean it's definitely a lot of opportunity. It almost makes you think, some people that don't understand stocks and bonds and everything and even crypto, they're like, man, where all of that money goes? Like, the Bitcoin, where's all of that losing going to? Like, where is it going? It's like people don't understand how the markets work and stuff like that. They're like, damn, where's that money going? All of that money that people losing, where is it going? You know, it's like, wow, Um, but yeah, it's definitely going down. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off of here. Nobody out here in the chat that wants to talk. I'm gonna close this one on out, and basically, like I say, if you want to check out the book, it's available on Amazon and also my website, brokegeniuses.com. It's in all the description of my videos. And yeah, just don't panic, try to, keep focused, make your next move your best move.